I want to break everything down here, looking at the contracts, looking at the stats, looking at the baseball reference, the baseball savant.
Yeah.
But I already saw Ben Nicholson-Smith here, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically say it's like the Colorado Rockies got a guy who could hit for a lot of power and who could do well in Coors Field. He could.
He
He
could.
absolutely could. He will
Randal Grichuk, I agree.
will probably get more playing at Coors Field, whereas the Toronto Blue Jays basically got a more traditional bench outfielder in Tapia.
Yeah, I mean,
and that breaks perfectly for me.
That's great. We look at his OPS, his career is 721, which is honestly, that's kind of what Randal Grichuk hit last year.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe Tapia does better with the Toronto Blue Jays. We don't know. He's 27, he's going to be going 28 into the 2022 season.
Yeah.
What I really like is he steals.
He steals.
And he's got hits for a good average. His career is 280. Last year, 273. And when you're on a team with these many guys who have great averages, excluding Matt Chapman, but he's got great power, then he kind of fits well. You can slot him into the lineup and not feel like you're missing a beat, really.
In fact, his career numbers to me are pretty reminiscent of what Corey Dickerson did for us last year as well.
Oh, yeah.
A higher batting average, a better on base than Randal Grichuk, much less slugging. But it's realistically, he's going to play the bench. I'm looking for you to get on base for our big boys. I know that Vlad's gonna slug. I know that George Springer's gonna slug. If we're gonna slot this guy into the 9th spot,
spot is so easy.
It's just you get on base, and he steals, man. 20 stolen bags last year. He is a quick boy,
dude. I feel like Montoya really likes to utilize the stolen bases, in a smart, effective way. So this guy could even get more this year. Who knows? He's great. I want to keep looking at Shai Davidi's link this tweet. On the chain of tweets here.
Okay.
He goes, this deal brings the needed left-handed bats to the outfield mix. Tapia has great speed, just like we were saying. And then he's played 37 career games in both center field, right field, so he can play a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Just like Randal Grichuk.
Yep.
What else did he say here?
He also goes on to talk about the money, and this is the most important thing for me. And I think that we kind of got the, or at least I did, especially got the stereotype of hating on Randal Grichuk. And I want to clear the air a little bit. Randal Grichuk, I had nothing against Randal Grichuk as a person, or even as a baseball player, even though I think he is below average from the guys that we do have on our team.
For sure.
I was always against the amount of money that he was getting paid for the level of production that he puts out and for the amount of time that he's going to be on the field. And he gets paid $10.33 million next year. Randal does. And Randal, or Tapia, is going to be making a solid $3.95 million on his arbitration 2.
Yeah.
We have control of him for 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
They are going to be cheap.
Just like Randal Grichuk.
Randal Grichuk. We have control of him for 2 more seasons, but they are going to be significantly cheaper than Randal Grichuk's $10.33 million. Unless Tapia decides that he's going to pop the hell off this year, in which case I'm willing to pay you.
Exactly. If you're worth the money, then I'm willing to do it. Now the question is the big one. Yes, if you go straight from 10.3 to 3.9, then it's we dump money. However, we are sending over cash.
We are sending over some cash.
So that is something that we're going to have to see as the Toronto Blue Jays, whether it makes sense. Because I'm hoping it should. I'm hoping it's we'll pay for, even if we pay for half his salary. Okay, we shaved off $1 million.
Right.
But the one thing I want to see, though, I know Randall's a pretty good defender. I have nothing in my brain backing up this, but that's why we got Baseball Savant right here.
That's why we got Baseball Savant. So I was looking at it a little bit prior, but curious to know what you guys think. Also, shout out everybody right now: Will Chan, Sean Pratt, Jordan N, Kenneth, Dan, Jordan N, Blue Jays, literally all of you guys. Shout out to every single one of you who answered some of your questions. And
here we go, guys. So everyone's saying that Randall's a good outfielder. Well, below average apparently. Apparently his jumps below average, his outs above average, below average. Below average outfielder. Let's look at Tapia.
Let's take a look at Tapia, who is slightly...
You already looked at this?
Yes, I did.
Slightly above average.
Yeah.
Would you look at that? Oh, look. He doesn't really whiff.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't barrel at all. That's fine. Randal has the barrel. That's the one thing Randal has over Tapia. Yeah. You got power.
We're absolutely 100% sacrificing
doesn't
some home
strike
runs.
out.
But he doesn't.
Look at that. That fits perfectly with our team. He can run. Great. This guy I like. I like him coming off the bench.
I like it too. This, to me, like, these statistics look a lot like a good sort of bench bat, because it's like when you're in, you're playing. You're running the base pass as much as possible. You're getting people out in your position. I think he is a, what is he, a left fielder?
Right fielder. Right fielder, center. Well, apparently left fielder, but apparently his tweet says he plays left and right. Okay, center and right.
You're going to play wherever the hell we want.
You're going to play wherever, bro.
Yeah, it's like you're going to do whatever we need you to do, man. But that's the thing, guys. He is a contact guy. He's a hard out, it looks like, because you're not going to strike him out.
Yeah. Doesn't walk a lot, but he's, like you said.
But when he gets on the bases, he is going to steal. So
yeah. Let's also check out this guy.
Take a look at Adrian Pinto. Yeah, I am interested.
That name sounds oddly familiar for some reason to me. Hey, this guy is 19 years old. Looks like he was signed out of Venezuela.
Right.
Okay. In the minor leagues, where he's had one season and
really good,
really pretty good.
Over
that's
very
pretty
small
good.
sample size.
54 games, he hit 360 with an OPS of 1029.
Right.
At 18 years old in rookie ball. That's something that is, that's pretty cool.
That's something. That's pretty cool. Like he's a guy. He's at least a little bit of a guy with a lot of eligibility.
A lot of eligibility.
I mean, I guess he's so young that it's like he hasn't even locked in a spot yet.
No. You never know. You never know. Maybe in 5 years, this guy's like, oh look, now he's in our like top prospect.
Totally.
You never know.
Possible,
you never know.
Like this is basically just like a long dart throw, guys. Right.
I do want to toss out here. Tapia has an OPS plus of 80, where Randal has a career of 103. Last year was 89, so it was getting closer. So I will say in the batting slugging department, probably we're that's the biggest drop off.
We are losing a bit,
but we're trading that off. Hopefully, we're going to find out later. We're trading that off for some money compensation. Like we're going to get some money back from getting rid of Randal Grichuk. So we're getting rid of that little bit of slugging, the little bit of more pop for a guy who gets on a little bit more with less pop, but we get to save some extra cash. And I think that's great for a guy who could just come off the bench and we can use that cash elsewhere. Even if it's like $3 million, that's probably like the best case scenario. $3 million to get a bullpen guy.
Can we actually plug in this exact trade on Trade Simulator?
Yeah, we can.
And see kind of like what we're looking at for values. Maybe we'll get a sense as to how much money the Blue Jays are going to have to give up, because they haven't said how much cash we are giving to those Rockies.
Right. Look at that. We're winning. We are winning.
Okay, yeah. So based off of, and again, take this with a grain of salt, everybody. Like, the Trade Simulator is not always accurate. It doesn't think about everything that's going on and all of the stuff that's happening in the baseball league and whatever. It's a good tool, but it's definitely not 100%. But based on this, as you guys can see, there is a very significant swing in one direction.
Yeah.
We are giving up a very expensive player that we don't want anymore and getting back value.
Something's not negative value, that's for sure. You know what I mean? So what this makes me think is like we are gonna probably have to cover if not all, but at least half, somewhere between half and all of it, of Randal Grichuk's contract.
So there's going to be something that we need to cover here.
We're gonna need to do it, because like this would just be robbery. A guy who's 18, like look, the guy who's 18, 19 years old, Pinto, has more value than Tapia. So baseball at Simulator is saying this is the piece that's really important here.
Right.
So like we probably are covering Grichuk's contract decent amount.
At least there's some cash definitely going back there, but we'll see. It hasn't been
who knows?
Revealed
it
yet.
might just be like, here's $3 million a year, so $6 million total we're covering, and it's like, wow, we robbed the Rockies, and the Rockies aren't they've been unfamiliar with being robbed.
That's the thing, like they have been robbed before, so
management's not quite
as much as I want to give them a little bit of credit right now. It's like, how can I? Right? You guys have literally been robbed several times before, the
Grichuk's gonna hit some homers for them. He might even hit like 35 this year, because he's gonna be in the lineup every single day.
He will be in the lineup every day at Coors Field.
Coors Field. Hey, he could even hit 40.
I might even draft him in fantasy.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe.
That seems a little crazy to me, but I might.
Yeah, if he hits 40 bombs and he's going to play every single day in like the middle of the lineup next to Chris Bryant.
Next to Chris Bryant,
Yep,
probably.
yes,
Yeah,
he will.
He's going to be one of the Rockies' best hitters.
He will be.
He's literally going to be one of the Rockies'
Good
best
for
hitters.
Randall.
Good for Randall.
Good for Randall.
Yeah.
He deserves a starting spot on most teams.
Literally, if
So,
I'm Randal Grichuk, it's like, this is actually probably
pretty
pretty good
good.
for me.
This is pretty
'Cause,
good.
like, there's no way that I was ever going to make more money in my career
Nope.
based on what I'm doing with the Jays.
No. And now he has 2 years to go out and slug
And to
homers
prove it.
and maybe get paid like
And
another
maybe
40 million or
literally
something.
get paid again.
Yeah.
He could get paid again. This works out for
Good
everybody,
for
guys.
Randall.
Good for Randall. Way
Good
to
for
go,
the
Randall.
Jays. Good for Randall. I love it.